Hi guys, today is going to be the last video in the instructional series for KettleBase. Today it's all about the hip hinge. It's our fifth and final movement in the series. Arguably the most important movement in the series. We're going to spend more time doing hip hinge exercises, more repetitions, hip hinge exercises than anything else. It's also going to be probably the heaviest lifts you do. So this is really critical. First I'd like to talk about what separates a hip hinge from a squat. They're both lower body movements, but they're a little bit different. Whereas a squat, your knees and your hips are going to bend at approximately the same rate as you descend. A hip hinge, it's almost all hips. Your knees will bend a little tiny bit, but just so that your hips can move back. You notice the position of my chest too, and the difference between the squat and the hip hinge. In a squat, my chest is very much upright. The knees come forward. In a hip hinge, my knees don't really come forward. My chest is more pointed at the ground. So I'm going to give you a real quick way, two quick drills you can do to get a really nice hip hinge. First, let me grab a stick. You're probably going to want to grab one too. What we're going to do is take our hand palm out. We're going to grab a hold of this stick. We're going to place it in the small of our back. We're going to make 3 points of contact between the stick and our body. The first is our tailbone or our sacrum. The second is our upper back. And the third is our head. We're going to pull our head into line. This way we know we have a nice neutral spine, nice upright spine. And you want to maintain this upright spine while you're hip hinging. So, you're going to get all 3 points of contact, sacrum, thoracic spine or upper back, and head against this stick or this bar, broomstick, whatever you have. And we're going to get our feet up just past our shoulders, toes turn out just a hair. Now we're just going to bend our knees just a tiny bit, and then push our butt back into the stick, maintaining those 3 points of contact. It may feel like you're arching your back a little bit. If your shoulders are a little bit rounded, this may feel a little stress in your upper back. That's fine. This is your neutral spine. This is the upright spinal position you want while you're doing all of your hip hinge exercises. So get used to this. Get used to this feeling by using this stick drill. Once you've done it a few times, and you know that you can keep a nice vertical torso, a nice upright spine with while you're doing your hip hinging, we're going to take a little weight and add it to that drill. So we're going to grab our kettlebell, we're going to bring it around back, and then we're going to push it down. We're going to sink our shoulder, our arms right up against our rib cage and push this bell down tight. Foot position is exactly the same. We're going to get our feet out just past our shoulders, toes turned out just a hair. We're going to keep that neutral spine, that upright torso. We're going to bend our knees just a tiny bit, and then we're going to push our butt back into the bell. Now the weight of the bell is going to kind of pull you back up. What you're concentrating on right now is two things. Concentrating on keeping your spine neutral, and you're concentrating on the weighting in your feet. You don't want to roll back onto your heels, and you also don't want to squat. So you don't want to bring your weight up onto your toes. You don't want to bring those knees forward. You want to keep your knees centered over your foot or even push back a little bit towards your heels. So think about keeping your spine up and keeping your feet evenly weighted. Now this hip hinge movement is going to translate into a lot of different exercises. We're going to start out with deadlifts and single leg deadlifts. It's eventually going to transfer over into the 2-arm kettlebell swing, the 1-arm kettlebell swing, and then all of your other swing-based exercises, including cleans and snatches, which we may or may not get into in this course, but we'll definitely be doing it in the future. So your hip hinge is the basis for your deadlifts, your single leg deadlifts, or staggered stance deadlifts as I was doing, and eventually your kettlebell swings. grab a stick, grab a bell, practice those 2 drills. Tell me how it goes. I'll see you soon.